Hello again, everyone. This is American Idioms Part 32. This is the 32nd video in my American Idiom series, and like the others, I'll present 5 idioms to you, numbered 156 to 160. But first, I'll give you the chance to guess their meanings. Then, I'll explain each of their meanings to you using additional examples to help you to understand them better. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Number 156. Cold feet. And the example is, I was going to try skydiving with my friends, but I got cold feet at the last minute and just stayed in the plane while the others jumped out. Can you guess the meaning? The answer here is B, to be really anxious and nervous about something, and that's what it means if you get cold feet. And that's what happened in our example. The person was going to try to skydive, meaning jumping out of a plane, but at the last minute they got frightened or scared or nervous or anxious, and they didn't do it. Here's another example. My cousin Maria got cold feet a few days before her marriage and called off the wedding. Now, this usually is used like this for someone who's about to get married. It could be the bride or the groom. They get cold feet, meaning that they get anxious or nervous, so much so that they call off the wedding or they cancel it. Okay, so in this example, Maria got cold feet, so she canceled the wedding. All right, that's what to get cold feet means. All right, number 157, not hold water. And our example is, I handed in my homework assignment late, and I got into trouble because my teacher said that my excuse didn't hold water. Can you guess the meaning? The answer here is A, something that does not appear or is not true. And that's what it means if something doesn't hold water. I think the best way to explain this is like, let's say, for example, you have a glass of water and it has a leak in it. So it doesn't hold water. It's leaking everywhere, right? It's not solid enough to hold water, so it's no good. And that's what it means. And it's used like this a lot, especially with excuses or arguments, just like in our example here where the student handed their homework in late and the teacher did not believe their excuse because it was weak in some way and it didn't hold water. Okay? Here's another example. The lawyer's main argument didn't hold water with the jury, so they voted to convict his client of the crime. In this case, the argument that the lawyer was making for his client didn't hold water. It was weak. In some way, it wasn't acceptable. All right, so that's what it means to not hold water. It's not solid, like I said about the glass of water. So in this case, the jury said that, oh, no, we're going to convict them. And they did. All right, number 158, feeding frenzy. And the example is, the report about the presidential scandal started a feeding frenzy in the media, who were all trying to find out the true story behind it. Can you guess the meaning? The answer here is B, to eat or consume something in a frantic way. And that's what happened in our example about the reporters. They were trying to get the story. So they were trying to consume it. Consume usually means to eat something, but you can just to get some information, you can consume information. And that's exactly what they were doing in this example. Many of them at the same time were trying to get this information about the scandal. And this commotion or all this activity was a feeding frenzy. Here's another example that's a little bit more literal. Many people love to watch the feeding frenzy that occurs when sharks are fed at an aquarium. In this case, they literally are eating. The sharks are eating in a crazy way. You've probably seen this. They throw in some food for the sharks and they all attack it and eat it in a very crazy way. That's a feeding frenzy, which is a more literal way that this is used. But like I said in the first example, it can also be used if there's another frantic activity going on, like the reporters trying to get the story. There was a feeding frenzy. All right, number 159, get a word in edgewise. And the example is, my son is very hard to talk to because he never lets me get a word in edgewise when we are discussing something. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to be able to say something when someone else won't stop talking. And that's what the person is talking about. He says that in a conversation, his son speaks the entire time, and he wouldn't allow him to speak. So it was a one-sided conversation. Here's another example. When the governor paused his monologue, the reporter was finally able to get a word in edgewise about his new spending policy. In this example, the reporter was able to get a word in edgewise in the governor's monologue because the governor paused. He stopped for a little bit. So the reporter was able to get the word in edgewise. All right, that's what it means. Here's our final idiom, number 160, heads up. And our example is, I really appreciate it that our boss gave all of us a heads up about all of the changes that would happen in our company in the coming months. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, an update that provides new knowledge or understanding about something. And that's exactly what a heads up is. It's an update about something, let's say new knowledge or understanding about something. And in our example, the boss gave the employees a heads up, an update about what was going to happen in the coming months. That's why the person in the example appreciated this, to know this. All right, here's another example. I was very upset that my coworker didn't give me a heads up about all of the problems he was having with our new software program. Now, I won't have time to correct them before our deadline. In this case, the person was upset because he didn't get this update about the problems. All right? His coworker did not give him a heads up or an update about what the problems they were having. Okay? That's why he was upset. Got it? That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please share this video if you get a chance. And do one more thing. Keep practicing! See you next time.